Hello everyone, SuperBricks37 here, and in today's video, we're going to be doing yet another LEGO City update. But before we get started, make sure you guys like the video and subscribe down below for more, as our support is very much appreciated. So now, let's get started. And the area we're actually going to on today is this area right over here. You can see this whole table here is right now completely blank, and we're actually going to get that filled in, nearly complete, maybe not fully completely filled in, but nearly completely filled in today. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the stuff we're going to be adding into this area. The two big sets that we're going to be adding into the city today are the LEGO Friends 41704 Main Street Buildings and the LEGO City 60292 Town Center. And these sets are both really awesome, and me and my fiance actually built them up over the weekend. They both have some really good details, both in the interiors of the buildings and the exteriors. And this town center set I actually found on clearance for $65, which is pretty awesome. And it actually gives me just enough road plates where I won't have to buy another pack of roads, which is really cool. And this LEGO Friends set was one I got a while ago. It's a 2022 set, and it's just a really awesome set to be put into the city. So yeah, let's go ahead and start with getting these put where they're going to be, and then we'll move on to the rest of it that we're going to be doing today. Alright, so the first thing we're actually going to do is we're going to remove this back base plate here, just because I think it might get in the way a little bit, and it was just supposed to be a placeholder anyway, because we might have to pull this road back a little bit, and I think I'm actually going to have to take out one of the crosswalks at some point. So yeah, let's go ahead and get that taken out and figure out where the roads need to be going. Alright, we got that base plate taken out, and we got the road expanded to where it needs to be. And if you notice, I did actually make it a turn to where the road's actually going to go ahead and just expand out this way, instead of expanding both towards the back and towards the front. Because I'm actually thinking about doing something in the back, that back corner, which you'll see later on in this video, that the roads might get in the way of. But if they don't, we'll end up putting more roads there. But for now, the plan is just to have one set of roads going all the way out to the edge. So yeah, let's go ahead and get the rest of those roads in, and then we'll start putting the rest of the city center set in. Alright, we got the rest of the roads put in, as well as we got the car wash and the little pizzeria and dojo from the city center set put in as well. I do want to integrate these smaller things that came in that set into the layout somehow. I'm just going to have to kind of wait and see what holes present themselves and need to be filled up. But I think next what we're going to do is we're going to replace this brown base plate with that LEGO Friends set. So let's go ahead and go carefully grab that and bring it in here. Well, this isn't exactly going to plan, because I didn't account for the fact that this set, when it's set up in a corner, isn't exactly one base plate. If you connect it the way that the set tells you to, it actually sticks out by two studs on both the front and on the side. So it can be set up as one base plate, but you're going to have this wall right here showing, which I think won't be the worst thing in the world, since most of the time you're going to be seeing it from this angle anyway. So I think what I'm going to do is just go with that for now until I can think of something else. And I also need to connect this piece in, because right now it is just loose. So yeah, I think we're just going to go with this setup for now, and then we'll replace the car wash. Actually, we'll have to move it down by two studs, but yeah. So let's go ahead and get everything connected together, and then we'll check out what it looks like. Alright, we got everything connected in together now. I did have to remove one of these handicap little ramp things from right there, because I did make it stick out an extra stud, so it wouldn't sit flush with the road. So I did take that out, and I will end up tiling that over eventually, as well as all these other little gaps that will get tiles in it. And then we went ahead and replaced the car wash and put it right next to it as well. And then we've got the little electric charging station right there next to that. And then one thing you do notice is I went ahead and placed my space center over in the corner. I just put in the launch center and then the actual rocket tower for right now. I haven't added in any of the little details yet. But I'm not sure I like where it's at. I mean, that really is the only place I can put it feasibly. But I don't know, I just don't really like how close the launch center is to these other buildings. So I do have a couple different options, and the one I'm leaning towards is actually taking that launch center and making it smaller, as to, instead of it being a half base plate, it'll only be a quarter base plate. Then it'll kind of sit back up against the wall instead of sticking all the way out to the sidewalk. And I think that's probably what I'm going to end up doing eventually, but for now, I think that's just going to be how it stays until the next update. But yeah, I will need to go in here and fill in that gap in between the electric car charger and then the launch center. I'll probably do some kind of barrier or something like that just to kind of block it off from public access. And I will need to clean up this gap in here as well. But that'll all come near the end of the video. But I think what we're going to do next is we're actually going to start working on putting in the foam board for covering up the bottom of the lower platforms. And I'm just going to kind of reuse what I had from the other city for now. And then I will end up having to get more. I think, at least. I may have enough to finish it, but I will probably end up having to get more. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and start doing what I've already got done. Alright, so we got the first two pieces of foam board set up. We've got the one tunnel piece that allows the trains to go in and out. Then we've also got this one back piece here that only goes to about halfway, which is actually, that was the length of my lower section in the other layout from in the apartment. So yeah, that kind of just shows you how much bigger this city layout is than my old one, which is really awesome. But I do have another piece cut for that other train tunnel, so we will get it put in next. And then I also have just this little bit of leftover from when I was cutting all these out originally. And I think this one may be long enough to fill in that gap there. So I'm going to try to make that work. And if not, then I will end up having to get more. And I also have two pieces of green foam board, which I'm actually going to take all of this bottom section off and then lay the green foam board below it as kind of like a base layer. Kind of like what I did in my original layout, except there's just going to be a lot more of it. And I'm not going to have it hanging off at all either, like I did in the last layout. So yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and get the rest of that foam board placed down, and then we'll put the city back together. Alright, so we got all the gray walls in. Now we just got to get the green grass cut and get that placed in there. Alright, we got all the foam board put in now, all the walls and the ground, and I think this makes the city look so much more complete. I do still need to get some foam board for this side and this side as well, but I did run out of the gray, so I will have to get that for the next city update. But I think for now, what we're going to do is go ahead and put this whole lower part back together, and we are actually going to rework it just a little bit, and then we're going to go up and finish work on the Space Center. So yeah, let's go ahead and finish up this bottom part first. Alright, we got the whole bottom section done now. As you can see, I did move the treehouse, the Creator 3-in-1 treehouse, from over here with my residential buildings, actually over to the park, and I extended this park area by one full base plate, and added in that treehouse, the little burger bar, the little telephone booth, moved one of the trees over here, and just put a few more little things like the little baby ride from that big city set, which I really like. I like how it just kind of rocks back and forth. It's a pretty cool little play feature. And yeah, other than that, everything's pretty much the same, besides the Batman motorcycle that's somehow fallen down here. So yeah, I think what we'll do now is we'll actually go ahead and start working on that Space Center. Alright, we do have a few little details added in here now. We got the Lego City starter set from 2015, which is a really awesome set. You get just a little rover, a little computer station kind of monitoring the rover. You get another rocket, or another astronaut rather, with a jetpack. And then just a little cameraman guy there recording everything. Then I also added just a couple more astronauts climbing up the tower here, up to the rocket ship, getting ready to load up, and maybe getting ready for a launch. But yeah, like I said earlier, this is all probably going to end up changing pretty drastically in the next update, because I think what I want to do is take my rocket launch center, which uses these really awesome big blue windows, and then just some white pieces in the middle, some big white panels in the middle to kind of complete that shape. I think I want to take that and still use those windows, but make it as thin as possible, maybe a quarter base plate if I can make that happen. And just make it smaller and then make it kind of tall. So maybe instead of it being 2 floors now, make it 3 floors, maybe even 4. And that way we can have some more interior details, as well as just a better looking area over here, just so it, because right now it kind of looks like it's just kind of plopped in the middle of a city. But yeah, like I said, don't really like that very much. And next update as well, we will go ahead and fix all these gaps in here. I just wanted to just kind of start this project out for now, just kind of get something set up, just so that corner's not completely empty. So, yeah, with that being done, I think what we'll do now is we'll go ahead and rearrange all the cars in the city, and then we'll set up some brand new fight scenes as well, and then go through a whole tour of the city. Alright, we got a whole bunch of awesome scenes set up, so let's go ahead and take a tour through the city. And we'll start over on this corner, where you can see I did change out the cars that are in the car meet. So we have now the Elva, the Charger, or Challenger rather, just a little Creator 3-in-1 hot rod, Ferrari, the little city convertible car, and then Tony Stark's hot rod. So this is a pretty awesome collection of cars here. We've got some more cars just up and down this road, including the Flying Ford from Harry Potter. Then if we come around back, you can see we actually have a scene back here behind the Daily Bugle, where we have Daredevil and Punisher fighting a whole bunch of criminals back here, some of which may or may not be alive. So yeah, that's a pretty awesome scene. Then moving on up the Daily Bugle, you can see we do have the Watcher and Deadpool having a conversation. So I wonder what that's about. And coming down, you can see just some more cars on the highway. A few city cars, Speed Champions cars having to skid to a halt because of the big fight going on here between the Avengers and AIM. Where we got Iron Man flying at MODOK, Hulk fighting the AIM vehicle, and a couple other AIM agents. We got Wasp back here fighting my custom Arnim Zola. Captain America fighting some AIM agents. Police officer whose ATV got ripped in half by the fighting. Then we got Hawkeye and Black Widow up here fighting some of the jetpack AIM agents. So this is a pretty awesome scene. I'm really in love with this. Just having all the AIM agent figures just from army building makes for some really awesome fight scenes. Then if we go on up, on top of Avengers Tower, we have Thor fighting Loki. It looks like he hit Loki so hard with the hammer, he actually broke the helipad on Avengers Tower. So that must have been a pretty powerful hit. And if we come down to the park area, nothing's really changed down here. Just still got the same minifigures walking around enjoying their day at the park. But on the Hogwarts Express, we have Wolverine fighting Venom. So that's a pretty awesome fight as well. And I can't wait to get this train motorized so that I can have fight scenes on top of it while it's going around the track. I think that's going to make this city look even cooler than it already does. And coming along, got nothing else really going on down here. Got the cargo train working its way towards that tunnel. Then up on the bridge, we got the 911. No other fights or anything going on it. Just a rich guy driving. Then we got some more cars. We got the Camaro, we got a K9 unit, got the Jag. Then up here at the museum, we have Spider-Man and Spider-Gwen who are fighting Carnage. And I kind of like how I strung the webs from Avengers Tower all the way over to the Sanctum. It's kind of like the way that kind of frames the scene. Now on the Sanctum, we have Wong fighting Wenwu, or the Mandarin. And going down, we got some more cars, more cars. Looks like we actually have a couple aliens trying to sneak into the Space Center. Maybe trying to get on this next launch so they can get back to their home planet. And then over here we have another huge fight between the Guardians of the Galaxy and some Outriders. So we got Gamora down here stabbing one with her sword. Rocket blasting one with his big cannon. We get Groot up here throwing them around. Then we got Star-Lord flying over to shoot at these guys coming out of the dropship. And then up top here we actually have another fight with Kamala Khan and Dr. Octopus, which I think is a pretty good combination. I think that'd be a pretty good fight to see maybe in the MCU one day. Then down at the beach, everything's pretty peaceful. Except for the fact that we have Hydra Man and Sandman terrorizing the beach. But Ant-Man and Shang-Chi are fighting them. And then down here in the corner, we have Luke Cage and a couple of police officers trying to fight off Killmonger and his goons, but one of them's trying to get away on that little raft. So, yeah, that's a tour of the city. Let me know what you think of all these scenes down below in the comments. So yeah, that's going to do it for today's city update. Let me know what you think of everything down below in the comments, and let me know how you would improve this city. But just to give you a little heads up about what's going to be happening in the next city update, we're actually going to be working on improving the beach area again. Because I am happy with it, but there is one set that I've had for a little bit that I really wanted to add to the city, and that is the LEGO Architecture Statue of Liberty set. So we're going to be actually reworking the beach. We may be adding in a waterfall as well, which might be pretty cool. And we're going to make a little bit more water space so we can put in a Statue of Liberty. But other than that, I think next time we are going to get the rest of the foam board so we can fill in those holes right over there and on the other side as well. And then, yeah. So, thank you all for watching. SuperBricks37, signing off.